What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. Well, imagine for a second that you get a phone that has a massive 7000 mAh battery. Well, you definitely expect at least 2-3 days on one charge, correct? Well, for today I have the Doogee BL7000, the phone that has a 7060 mAh battery and it costs under $200. The phone looks and feels very premium. We have a 5.5-inch screen with a 1080p resolution, we have a metallic frame, leather on the back, and we even have two 13-megapixel cameras on the back there. But keep in mind that the phone is a bit heavy, so it weighs around 220 grams. For specs, we have the MTK 6750T. This is an octa-core CPU clocked at 1.5 GHz. We have 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of internal storage, and the device is running Android 7. Now, out of that 64 GB of internal storage, we have about 54 GB left, but the speeds for the internal storage are quite low, so among the lows that I've seen for any smartphone. Now, keep in mind that you can expand the internal storage with an SD card, so technically you're not going to be running out of space anytime soon. Leaving the internal storage aside and moving to performance, well, this is definitely not the fastest phone out there, and the Antutu benchmark and the Geekbench 4 will confirm that for sure. Even like that, most apps that I tried on the phone worked quite well, and I was actually surprised to see that the games that I tried actually played very well. I mean, the phone got kind of hot whenever playing games, but it did perform very well. And we are moving on to the main selling point for this device, the massive 7060 mAh battery. Well, the results that I got were disappointing. No, let me rephrase that. The results that I got were super disappointing. I was never able to get more than 5 hours of screen on time. Not more than 5 hours of screen on time on a 7060 mAh battery. That's just an absolute joke, and that must have to do with the software optimization for sure. And I didn't try this just once. I actually charged the phone 3 times and I'm getting the exact same horrible results. So yeah, the battery life on this phone sucks. Now, having that massive 7060 mAh battery has some advantages as well. So you can use this as a power bank, so you can charge other devices. So you have another phone, you can just charge your other phone right from this one. And it takes about 3 hours to fully charge this from 0 to 100. And we are moving to the two 13-megapixel cameras on the back of this phone. So like anyone else, I was actually expecting some really cool pictures taken with the bokeh effect. Well, I was disappointed once again. So just like all the other cheaper phones from China, the phone makes a circle in the middle, so basically around the focusing point, and everything outside the focusing point is blurred out, and everything in the center of the focusing point it's not. And the pictures just look horrible. So, leaving the dual camera setup aside, if you just take pictures with one camera, so the main camera, the pictures actually look decent. We have an HDR mode that works decent and better than a lot of other phones that we've seen under $200, and basically all the pictures that you're gonna take with plenty of light turn out quite good. The colors are accurate, the dynamic range is acceptable, and overall the pictures look okay. But I can't say any good things about the pictures taken in low light conditions. So in low light conditions you can barely see anything, and not to mention that it takes forever for the phone to focus. So yeah, don't take pictures at night with this phone. And since we are talking about cameras, we might as well talk about the front-facing camera. So on the front we have a 13-megapixel front-facing camera, and we also have a flash. And I mean, the flash is useful in certain conditions. Now, if you take pictures in daylight, the pictures turn out quite good and with a lot of detail. But as soon as it gets dark, well, I can say the same. And the pictures are kind of unusable because you can't really see anything if it's dark wherever you are. The 5.5-inch screen looks great. We have very nice and vibrant colors and excellent viewing angles, and the screen sensitivity is also better than average, so no problems whenever you are typing or playing games. The max brightness is not the best, but this is kind of normal for phones under $200, and you can still see the phone in direct sunlight, so definitely not that bad. And moving all the way to the bottom of the phone, there we have the home button that's also a fingerprint scanner, we have the multitasking button and the return key. And if you don't like using those physical buttons, you can always bring up the navigation keys on the screen. The fingerprint scanner, it's far from great, so it takes 2-3 times to actually unlock the screen, and even when it works, it's not the fastest out there. So yeah, the fingerprint scanner, it's not the best on this phone. And don't worry, it's not all bad. The GPS unit inside the phone, it's among the best that I've tried for any phone under $200. So it's very quick to find your location, and once your location is found, it doesn't lose it either. And of course, using Google Maps works excellent as well. As for sensors, well, that's a different story. So we only have like 3 sensors available, so no gyroscope, unfortunately. And talking about things that we don't have, well, we don't have NFC, but that was to be expected, but at least we get 4G connectivity and dual band Wi-Fi. And of course, I tried the speeds over 4G and the dual band Wi-Fi, and they're acceptable. As I mentioned earlier, the phone's performance is not bad at all and actually better than I was expecting. So I played a couple of games on the phone and the phone doesn't slow down at all, like not at all. You wouldn't say that it's using that MediaTek 6750T processor. I got the same results while using the browser, so you can scroll up, scroll down, zoom in, zoom out, just like you do on a high-end device, and no issues with that. And on the YouTube app, the maximum resolution it's 1080p at 60 frames per second, and all the videos that I watched at that resolution also did quite good. Now, you're gonna notice that the phone is not the fastest, mostly when you open apps, so it takes a while to actually open the apps, but once the app is opened, you shouldn't have too many issues. Now, if you do start multitasking, you're definitely gonna notice that the phone is gonna slow down, but that's quite normal for a phone under $200. So multitasking, even though it works, it will slow down the phone. The phone is also using Android 7 and I was very happy to see that the skin that they actually used on it, it's not heavy and it actually works very well, so much better than the Doogee mix that I've had a couple of days ago. So no complaints about the launcher. Scrolling in between screens is done very fluidly as well, and I'm very happy to see that they haven't included any of those garbage features that we see for a lot of manufacturers from China. So I'm quite impressed with the UI. And just before we end, I wanted to mention that the speaker at the bottom of the phone sounds better than a lot of other phones that I've heard, and even more expensive phones, so no complaints about the speaker. And also the 3.5mm audio jack outputs some decent sound as well, so it's not all bad. But I was very disappointed about the battery life, because I was really expecting to get at least 8-9 hours of screen on time from that 7060 mAh battery. Now, hopefully that can be changed or fixed with a software update, but for now, yeah, it's absolutely horrible. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.